Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Isabel and I do some different kinds of sustainable content on my channel. I do fashion related thrifting, which this video is about thrift stores, but I also do some product reviews and just some general ways on how you can be more sustainable. So today we're going to be talking about Dutch thrift stores, and I thought it would be fun to do like a guide and show you this time for Rotterdam, because I live in Rotterdam. So obviously I know the thrift stores here the best. So yeah, I thought I'd do tell you my favorite thrift stores in Rotterdam. So if you live in Rotterdam, or if you're planning on visiting Rotterdam in the future, that you can see what my favorite thrift stores are. So yeah, and if you guys like this video, I might do more videos in different cities, but also different themes of thrifting, because right now I'm just doing clothes and kind of home decor, mostly clothing though. So yeah, let me know. And also I just want to mention, I got a haircut and I'm super happy with it. I got shorter pieces in the front, as you can see here. Oh god, now it's in my lip gloss. I'm still getting used to it. Like, I really like it. I'm not like getting used to liking it. I mean, getting used to it being in my face because it's a little weird. But yeah, I got some like shorter pieces inspired by Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 5 specifically. Excuse me if I touch my hair a lot in this video because I'm just not used to it yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this behind my ear so that I'm less likely to touch it. So let's just get into my favorite thrift stores in Rotterdam. So if you see me looking down, I have a little notebook in front of me with some notes about every store that I wanted to make sure I tell in the video. Reasons I'd like it, the kind of selection they have, the price range, all that kind of stuff. So the first one, and one of my favorite ones, is the Swap Shop, and they have 2 locations right now in Rotterdam, and they're going to be opening up a new location in Amsterdam hopefully soon. So that's really cool, and I'll try to put the Instagram of the stores if they have it on the screen, just to give you an idea of what their store looks like, and then I'll also link their websites down below so you can find out the address and stuff for yourself. But the Swap Shop, the price range, I gave it like, I'm doing like 1 out of 3, so 1 to 3. 1 is like more affordable, 2 is average to slightly more expensive, and 3 is more pricey. And the Swap Shop is definitely affordable. They have like super low, they also have higher prices for vintage designer pieces, but they don't have tons of those. So what I wanted to say about them is that when you go there, they're slightly different than a normal thrift store. So you don't only pay money for an item, you also pay points, which means that you hand in clothes, and for those clothes they give you points on a little card that you get when you're there for the first time. And with those points you can then buy new items plus a little small service fee, so they can pay the rent and that kind of stuff. So they have 3 points €2, 5 points €4, 10 points €8, and 20 points €15. Oh, Logan's coming into my room. So it's all very affordable, and most things are 3 points €2 and 5 points €4. So you won't be spending tons of money there. And it's also a good way to get rid of your clothes in a more sustainable way, because donating them, sometimes most clothes don't end up getting a new home, and this way, as long as your clothes are in good condition, like they don't have holes or rips or damaging or stains, they will go to a new home. So I think that's really cool. The people who work there are super nice. You can definitely have a nice conversation with them, and sometimes you'll pick up a piece and they'll be like, oh, somebody just brought that here today and it's so cute, and it's really nice. They're obviously all people who are passionate about sustainable fashion, which is really cool. And they have clothing and accessories, so like shoes, and they mostly have shoes as accessories, but sometimes they'll have like some scarves or hats. But yeah, it's a really good place and I really like them. Then another one of my favorite places, obviously these are all my favorites, but this is the other one that I've gone to so much. And it's called Jouw Marktkraam, which is Dutch for like your marketplace, like market stall, market stand, I don't know. And it's this big indoor area, and they have all these like little shelving units, and you can rent one of those units to sell your own stuff on. So they're all actually individual sellers, but there's, I think, 2 people, maybe more, who work there. I've gotten quite a lot of stuff there. I've gotten home decor, clothing, crystals. You have to watch out, there are some people selling things new. Like some people buy like shampoo in bulk and then sell it, which is really weird. I don't know why people do that. But there is mostly, it's vintage and secondhand. There's also people selling their own like art, whether that's actual paintings or just crocheted things. There's a bunch of different things. You can definitely find a variety of pricing there, and I priced this like affordable to medium average because, or like slightly more expensive, because obviously they're all individual sellers, so some people might price their stuff really low and some people might ask a little bit more money for that. Obviously you can think for yourself, oh, this is a good price for me and this isn't, because there is a large variety of stuff, so you'll always be able to find something in your price range. Then the next one is actually a chain that we have in the Netherlands called Kataplan, and this one is in, I think, Berkel and Rotterdam. This is me just speaking Dutch in this video. Nice. But there's different locations. I've just only been to this one, so I can't really tell you guys much about the other ones because I haven't been there, but I'm assuming they'll be kind of similar because they are a large chain. They have really cute home decor. Like if you want some glasses or mugs, I would definitely go there. Like they have things from like cocktail glasses to just normal glasses, really cute mugs, really simple mugs, cute little old-fashioned teacups, vases, like a bunch of different things. They also have frames. They do have clothes too, and furniture. Their furniture selection is, it's pretty good. Like it's not a huge thrift store, but it has 3 stories, which it's large for a Dutch thrift store. But their clothing section is about half of the second floor and the other half is books. But the clothes, sometimes I found some really cute stuff there, like 2 of my sweatpants, my black sweatpants and my gray sweatpants. I found both of those there for, I think, only €5, and I'm really happy with those. And I also found my crocheted vest there that I wear a lot. So yeah, it's a pretty good place. Their clothes are, I'd say, pretty affordable. Their clothes sometimes are a little bit more expensive, but everything else in the store makes up for that. Like I got mugs there for 50 cents, which is really cool. And like really beautiful teacups for 75 cents. Like I was like, wow. Their clothing isn't curated, so if you don't really like searching, I wouldn't really recommend it. Also, their selection isn't that big, so sometimes you might find a few things and sometimes you might not find anything. But the staff is really helpful and nice, and I think they do actually get quite a lot of clothes in. So like there is definitely, like, if you're just looking for basic t-shirts, that's definitely a good place. The 4th store that I really like is Cheap Fashion, and this is actually one of the first thrift stores I thrifted at when I was just starting my thrifting journey. Like, also that was way before when I was still buying fast fashion, and I went with one of my best friends and she took me there, and I got a vintage, I don't actually know if it's vintage, but it's definitely kind of old, Lee flannel, which is really funny because there's actually a Lee store across the street there. And I got it for, I think, €4 or €5, which is pretty good for me, I think. And Cheap Fashion, I'd say their price range is affordable to average, slightly more expensive, so 1 to 2 price tags. Because they have this deal where sometimes they have deals that you have, like all flannels are €5, and they have this whole rack of all their flannels and they're €5, or sweaters, graphic tees. They do that kind of stuff, but they are curated, and they do know when things are on trend. So when the sweater vest trend became really big, they immediately had tons of sweater vests, which is good if you want to find them, but they were all starting at 15 euros and then it went up from there. So that might sometimes be a little bit too expensive for me, but you can find really good deals there. You just have to look sometimes, but they do also know which things are trendy, so they will price things higher when they're on trend. But it is nice if you don't want to search too hard for something and you don't like shopping secondhand online, because if you are willing to spend slightly more, it's not really expensive, but just slightly more on something like a sweater vest for 15 euros. I don't think that's a ridiculous price at all. I'm just saying, like, if you really want to get deals, not always the best place, but for specific things, you just have to be really open-minded when you go in. And also what I want to say is they have a lot of shoes and a lot of scarves, and which is really cool. So if you want accessories and stuff, that's nice. And the people there are also really nice. The next one is actually not clothing, and it's called Spillover in your house. Wow, I just said that all weird. It's called Spillover in your house, which means stuff for in your house, which is a very self-explanatory name, I guess. And they have a bunch of curated vintage furniture and planters, and their furniture is, I'd say, slightly, like, it's like 2 price tags. It's slightly on the more expensive, going towards more expensive, but it is all real vintage. Not everything, but if it is vintage, it is real vintage, like when they say it, and it is super curated. They have some like really nice like 70s and 80s, sometimes even older, I might say, wardrobes that are super beautiful, completely wooden, like gorgeous things, which not something I need right now, but if I needed a wardrobe, I would probably go there because they're super nice. They also just have like little home decor things, like little toys for kids and like, I don't know, little things. And they also have planters, and they actually also do sell plants. Their plants aren't secondhand, those are new, but you can buy a plant and then also buy a vintage planter to go together, or not necessarily vintage, but some of them are vintage, some of them are secondhand probably. And then you can pair your plant with a new planter, a secondhand planter. And they also have a little cafe, so yeah, which is really cool. So you can eat something there if you want to too. And then the next store is called Episode, and this is another more chain-like store in the Netherlands. I don't know how many locations they have, but I know they have, I think, at least 2 in Amsterdam, and they have, I think, only 1 in Rotterdam. I could be wrong about that, but I've only seen 1 of them, so I'm pretty sure there's only 1. I put their pricing in the middle, like 2 price tags out of 3, because their prices are relatively good, but sometimes I've only been there a couple times, so I'm maybe not the best person to say this, but like, I went there once and it was like a t-shirt was like 25 euros and then this jacket was 5 euros, and I was like, what is going on? Like, a jacket is less expensive than a t-shirt, and I don't think it was even like a brand name, so I was a little confused about the pricing. But they also have like I said, so they have that t-shirt. That one t-shirt might have been more expensive, but that jacket was super cheap. I don't think I've bought anything there actually, because I haven't been there in a really long time. Also because that one time I was just confused by the prices, but I honestly think it was probably because that top was something that was more trendy than the jacket at the time, but I don't know. I've never been really aware of trends, and I am more aware of trends now. Like, I know kind of what's trendy, but I just don't really care most of the time. Like, if I see something like with the sweater vests, I love sweater vests. I only have 1, but like with some trends I'm like, now I'm more aware, but I guess then maybe I wasn't. So it could have been that that top was just something that was more trendy than that jacket, but I thought both were nice, so I didn't really get the difference in price. Yeah, but they have like vintage clothing and more new clothing too. Like I said, tons of different price ranges, so you can get stuff there for really affordable and things more expensive. I remember from being there that their store is super colorful, tons of different pieces. They also have a lot of neutrals, but they definitely have a lot of colors as well. And yeah, like I said, it is a bigger company, so if you live in Amsterdam, they're there too. So yeah, if you live in Amsterdam or Rotterdam, you might already have been to an episode. The next store is Mahogany Vintage, which is just like, Mahogany is like a name, like a Dutch name, I guess. But it's, like it says, it's a vintage store, and this was, and I think still is, one of my favorite stores. And I put their price range from affordable to medium, so 1 to 2 price tags. The store used to be pretty close, like closer to my house than it is now, at least. And now it moved to the other side of Rotterdam. At first I thought it just shut down, so I was like, oh my god, panicking because I liked their store so much. But thank god it just moved to the other side of Rotterdam. So I'm definitely planning on going there again. I don't know what their new store looks like, but it's still the same, like, people, and there's multiple people who work there, but I remember one person being there most of the time, and such a nice person, and I was just like, yeah, the people there are really, really nice and ask you about your pieces and talk to you, and it's just really nice. Also, I want to say their pieces are super good quality and pretty unique because they are vintage pieces, and there are a lot of different kind of vintage styles there, so there is something, I think, for everybody. Like, there's a lot of stuff there that isn't my style, but I still think is so awesome. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking their store out. The next store is called Sweet Rebels, and this is a store actually really close to Episode as well. And this store, I'd say, is average, like 2 to 3 price tags, average to more expensive. And not because the prices are like ridiculously high or anything. It's because the pieces, to me, I've only been there once, but the pieces seemed way more curated. I got MAC jeans. I actually don't know that much about that brand, but my jeans, they were like super good condition. The zipper was like super good. They were actually vintage, she said, and they were like this creamish loose fit. You might have seen them in my videos if you have seen some of my older videos. Those were 29 euros, which for a thrift store I'd say is expensive, but for a curated brand thrift store I think it's a normal price, I say. So even though I'm saying they're more expensive, I still think their prices are reasonable for things they're selling. But this is like definitely something you would go to if you're looking for a specific thing and you just want really high quality. But it's a really, really nice place. Also very small. Also, again, nice employees. The next one is called Betcha Vintage, and this is actually one of my best friends, one of her favorite thrift stores. I priced them, I think, at also like, I'd say, affordable to medium, so 1 to 2 price tags, because they're also unique and vintage pieces, similar to the Mahogany Vintage one, but they have more like quirky, really quirky pieces, but also like more plain vintage pieces. They have a like good price variety, so they have some really like much more affordable things, but also some more slightly more expensive things, but nothing like really expensive from what I've seen. Maybe I'm just not looking at the really expensive stuff, but I don't know. I think they have good price variety, and again, nice employees. And yeah, this is also a pretty small store. All the stores are pretty small here in the Netherlands. We don't have a lot of area, so there's nothing like Salvation Army or Goodwill or Savers or Value Village where the store is like huge. Then the next and last one is called Showroom 41, and this one's actually really close to Marktkraam. They're actually like just like, I think, less than 100 meters apart. And this one I'd say is a average to expensive as well, similar to the Sweet Rebels one, because they also have more high-end pieces, and it's also vintage, and they also work with I think independent local designers who repurpose vintage pieces into new pieces, so they also have one-of-a-kind pieces made by those designers, at least when I was there last. all their pieces are also really like well taken care of and well curated, and they're also like just really nice. And I'd have to say they're actually pretty affordable for higher end things like the Sweet Rebels. Like me, like buying those pens and then realizing they were 29 euros, and I was like, damn, that's like a lot for me, but like for what it was, I guess it wasn't that bad. And the Showroom 41 has really good prices, I think, for name brands that I actually did recognize. Yeah, and they're really nice too, really curated for special pieces if you're looking for something specific. Yeah, it's a really cool place as well. So those were all the stores I've been to in Rotterdam that I really like for vintage clothing and some home decor as well. If you know any more stores in the Rotterdam area that you've been to that you really like, let me know in the comments down below. And if you visit any of these stores, let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. I'm interested to see if you guys like the same stores that I like. And yeah, I hope this is helpful if you live in Rotterdam, or if you ever come to Rotterdam and want to go to a thrift store, because I know that if you're a thrifter, wherever you go, you probably will want to visit a thrift store. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really great day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye guys!